Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me, Matt from Diazable, coming at you with another album review. And today we're checking out the band Magnitude with their new album of Days Renewed. A little background on this band is they come from South Carolina. I'm not sure in the city, but they are a straight edge hardcore band that's been playing since about 2017. They talk about animal rights, unjust like violence towards people, self-improvement and empowerment. So very, very positive band. They are currently signed with Triple B Records, legendary record label right now. If you're in the hardcore scene, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not into the hardcore scene, check out this label. They have all the great bands at this time right now. And they put out their debut To Whatever Fateful End on this label back in 2019. So this is the follow-up to that album. And yeah, so let's take a look into this album. Yeah, Deliverance is the first song on this album, and the first thing I noticed was compared to their debut, everything sounds more tough, more harder. Like they're coming in a lot harder in terms of sound production and playing style. The drums are tight and the snare really snaps on this song. The riffs are very dense, solid, but also they have like a light air of lightness to it. Like they sound heavy, but they sound like they're like playing it really easily. And the bass is really thick and kind of plucky. Vocals are more refined than on the debut. Like he's really fine-tuned his performance and everything. Riffs are really, really good towards the end of the song. And I feel like they're really channeling that old 90s hardcore style, vibe, and energy here.
Even when you're gone, I'll tell them my religion's you. When punctures
Burn to Ashes. This is definitely more of an old Magnitude style and feel, especially with how the guitars are playing here. It's very bouncy, very tight song. The guitar scaling that they do here really reminds me of old school Magnitude. So they haven't lost their signature sound, which I think is good. I think they just really elevated it with this album. Drums are solid, and they give a lot of room for the song to breathe. Like there's a lot of like breaks in between because of the drums. Overall, it's a pretty good song with a really solid breakdown. Through Trials. Fucking A, the guitar riffs on this song are so sharp. They stick out very well in the best way. And the drums really help complement the guitars and like flow well together. And the lyrics here, really, really, really good and great like lyricism here. And the vocal performance, so tight, so mature and everything. This is a great example of a great song on this album. So I want to play a little clip for you. Baby. Beyond Repair. The only thing I really can notice about this track is the bass is really noticeable and feels really good. The drums, vocals, and guitars are good. They're solid. Not solid. They're just good. But overall, it just feels like a very decent track. And up until this point, it kind of seems like a bit of a mid song. Okay, not mid, but just an okay song up until this point for this album. Built on Lies. The opening riff is very tight and very slow. And as the song goes along, it gets slower and more nuanced and everything, especially in terms of the overall playing. And the guitars are just so noticeable and just so nice on this track with how slow and overall menacing they sound. It's a very solid track. So here's a little clip of Built on Lies. Just so mesmerizing, that riff. Rectify. This is the first single they put out for this album, and I understand why they did because it's a pretty solid track, especially with how the guitars and the drums really played well together on this track. It's very fast, it's very tight, it's very noticeable, it gets your attention. So good song and everything. And especially towards the end of the song, around the minute and 45 second, it gets really tight and they just like fucking explode and just let it loose at the end. And it just kills every time I hear this song. Echoes. The opening bass solo on this song really reminds me of like early 90s hardcore. I keep thinking they were like channeling that old 90s hardcore style, and it's just sounds so good, so refined and everything. This song is overall very bass driven, and it just, as I'm listening to this album, just like it's solid, solid, solid. It's a good album, and like it's nothing too fancy, but they're just playing very well and getting you good hardcore. The breakdown towards the end of the song is really good, especially because like they have some like extra kicks from the drums and everything, so it adds a nice little bit of flavor to the song. And so I want to play a little clip of the song, mostly the intro and everything, because it sounds so cool. If this was like to hear 90s hardcore back in the day, I'm here for it, baby. Of Days Renewed. Like I've been saying, they really, really bring that 90s hardcore energy here, I think. And I think the best way to describe it is they're not trying to like recapture it and like say like, even though I've been saying that it sounds really 90s hardcore, but I don't think they're trying to copy and recapture it. They're like bringing it to the 2023 setting and refining it and putting a new spin on it and like showing like their influences, but also like taking it to a whole nother level, especially in terms of production and playing style. So very cool for them to do this, especially with how good the drums are on this particular song. The snare drum sounds very, very good, and it really builds up towards the end of the song. And just overall, it just feels like a very modern day hardcore classic of a song, and potentially a modern day hardcore classic album. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on this album from Magnitude. And the biggest thing I can take away from this album is maturity, maturity, maturity. These guys have really taken their A game and moved it up to S tier level in terms of playing, writing, vocals, performing. It just sounds like a tighter unit and everything, and they're doing it very well, and it just sounds really amazing. Vocals sound really tight and more mature. Drums, very, very snappy, and just keeping a good pace for the album. Never too slow, never too fast. It just flows really well. And the guitars are like this, like the star here. They're just riffing and just shining through and making some very fun and interesting riffs. The bass, very crispy, very nice. Like it's felt throughout the whole album and everything. I feel like these guys went in with like a plan and they got everything sorted out and it was able to execute and get everything just done perfectly in a great way. The only thing, there's nothing really negative about it because I don't think it's nothing too like genre pushing and everything. They're playing 90s hardcore with the current 2023 style of hardcore. They're blending the things together really well. Like it's pretty like cut and dry what they're doing here. And like I said, they're not trying to like redefine the wheel or anything. They're just making the wheel tighter and everything. So with that being said, I think this album from Magnitude, Of Days Renewed, is a nice solid 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, so links down below. Go check out the local not local scene, but check out Magnitude, but support your local scene and everything. And if you're straight edge, let me know down in the comments, because I'm straight edge as well, and this is a straight edge band, and I like being straight edge. Woo, yeah, really random fact. But yeah, thanks for coming on by. Tell me what you thought about this album, and I will see you guys later.